Hi everyone, in today's video I want to talk about how to change your life. First things first, you have to decide what exactly you want to change about your life. A lot of people who are interested in self-help, who read self-help books, watch motivational videos in order to get that dopamine spike, in order to get that motivation. 99% of people, they don't change their life in the way that they wanted to, because most of the time you watch a video like this for like 5-10 minutes, like whatever, you read a certain book that inspires you and you get that motivational spike, you get that dopamine spike, and then you wake up the next day and you do exactly what you've been doing for the past few months, years, etc., etc. So nothing really changes. You have to realize that nothing changes if nothing changes. Like, this is a very, very obvious thing to say. This is a very, very easy thing to say, but like, that's true. Like, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you do exactly what you've been doing for a while, if you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, but you expect different results, you're gonna get exactly what you've been getting in the past. So nothing is going to change unless you start implementing certain strategies, you start getting out of your comfort zone, you start doing something new, you start adding some new improvements to what you've been doing. Then things start to change, hopefully for the better. For example, you are out of shape, you're fat or you're skinny, like whatever, you're out of shape and you hate this situation you're in, you want to change your life, you want to start going to the gym, like you want to get in shape, right? In order to get in shape, you're going to have to go to the gym, you're going to have to follow a certain meal plan, you have to quit bad habits, like whatever. And in order to get to that finish point you want to get, like you're going to have to go through certain journey, and that journey is going to suck. Like, going to the gym, like for some people, like it sucks, it's difficult, it's hard, it's tough. Following a certain diet is tough, like we don't want to do it. Brain is always making sure that we are comfortable. Our brain doesn't want us to change, because if we change, the situation change and it becomes stressful, because new situations that we haven't encountered before, it's difficult for the brain. Your brain always wants you to be comfortable, to stay exactly where you are, always holding yourself back. You always wanna stay in your comfort zone because it's cozy, because it's convenient, like whatever. You don't wanna encounter new challenges because it's the unknown. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. So our brain is afraid of the unknown. So our brain always makes sure that we don't cross that line. Throughout my whole life, I made certain changes when I started getting out of my comfort zone. Like, nothing in my life has ever changed by me staying exactly at the place that I stayed in. I'm gonna have to take that step out of my comfort zone, do something new that I haven't done before in order to grow. But every time I did that, I really had a lot of improvements in my life, and I never did regret going out of my comfort zone, because every single challenge that I ever encountered by getting out of my comfort zone, it made me who I am today. So I'm really grateful for all the challenges that I went through and everything, and that I actually made those decisions to get out and just step out of my comfort zone and get out of my bubble and just go there and explore. And I never, ever regretted doing that. You're gonna have to ask yourself what you want to do. Like, you want to stay exactly where you are, or you want to grow, you want to improve. People always change when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of actually going through change. So when you decide that, okay, I'm out of shape, it sucks, I don't want to be fat, like whatever, but you're always like, your next option is to actually get in shape and start going to the gym, start working on yourself, get a meal plan, whatever. But it also sucks, because you're gonna have to be disciplined, stay consistent. You're gonna have to go to the gym when you don't want to, especially on the days when you don't want to. So it sucks, right? Like, but both of those options suck, like in some ways. Like, being fat sucks, but also working on yourself and going to the gym to get in shape, get some muscle, also sucks, because it's hard. and we don't want to do hard things. When you decide for yourself that staying fat, staying out of shape is actually worse than going to the gym and start working yourself, that is when you decide that, okay, I'm going to do it. Every time I negotiated with myself, oh, okay, I want to change, I want to do this and that, but it's really uncomfortable for me, like it's new, I'm not sure. I'm like, okay, bro, like you can stay exactly where you are and nothing's gonna change for you. It's gonna suck, you're gonna struggle. Or you can go struggle and actually do something to improve your situation, to get out of this situation and level up. So I always chose the same option. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna struggle either way, I'm just gonna go and struggle towards something that I want. Next question that I want you to ask yourself is why? Why do you want to do it? It's one thing to get you motivated enough to start that journey, start that process. It's another thing to actually stay consistent, stay in that path. You have to know exactly why you're doing this. Because as I said before, you're going to struggle on that journey. You're going to struggle, it's going to be difficult. You're going to want to, like, sometimes you're going to have thoughts like, okay, I want to quit. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not sure if I'm going to succeed, etc., etc. So you're going to have to know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. Because if you know, like, okay, I want to get in shape because I want to improve my confidence. I want to look good. I want to be stronger. Like whatever, I want to feel good about myself. I want to work on myself. I want to be more physically strong. So you know your why. And when you're struggling, when you want to quit, you remind yourself, okay, why am I doing this? Because I want to do this and that and this. You list all your reasons why you want to change. All your reasons why you're doing this. All your reasons why you're going through that journey, through that process. And then it becomes easier for you to keep going because you know exactly why you're doing this. In order for you to stay in that journey and stay consistent and keep going, you're gonna have to remind yourself constantly, especially on those days when you don't want to go to the gym. You have to remind yourself that, like, why you started that journey, why you're doing this, and where you're going. Every struggle is worthwhile when you know why you're doing this. Bonus tip for me is surroundings. Like, get a support system. Make sure that you have friends who support you, your surroundings. Like, even if you have to like change friends, even if you have to like move to another neighborhood, another city, another country or whatever, like make sure that your surroundings help you on your journey. Like like make sure your surroundings help you in your growth, because it's going to be easier for you to change if everything that surrounds you pushes you to the better version of yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. Change doesn't happen like this with the blink of an eye. It's really like, it's a process. Like 99% of the time, it's going to be a process. So in order for you to change, you have to like change the things that you do on a daily basis. If you want to change, do it step by step. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to make it overnight, because it doesn't happen like this. It happens gradually, step by step. Even if it's small steps, like it's okay as long as you're making progress. Don't try to put too much pressure on yourself. As long as you're being consistent, as long as you're taking steps, even if it's small, like even if it's 1% better. But if it's 1% better every single day, guess where you're going to be like in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years if you're constantly improving.